Y'all know what time it is. It's 1 a.m. No Nico this show. Nico had some pressing issues, but we're going to keep the show rolling. We got a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
Mr. C.T.B.
Yeah.
Chubbs the barber. What's going down?
What's good, bro? What's straight, man? What's poppin'? Man,
how you living today, man? I'm glad you could slide through for the one time.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm actually off today, man. So for all y'all that know about the barber community, like being off on a Saturday is like the world. So I'm off on a Saturday, man.
I would like to add that my guy does look pretty tired. Look at his eyes, man. Look at the sandbags.
Man, yeah. So I got up this morning at 6. I got a few of them, and then I'm back. I'm here now, so I'm off for the rest of the day, though, for the most part. So we good.
Somebody who works all the time, man. What do you do in your off time, man? It seems like you gotta have like a different number or something like that. Cause
I got 2 phones, but it still don't matter, But man, being self-employed, you really don't get no off time.
Facts. So
it's just like I gotta squeeze in that mandatory family time. But for the most part, man, if it ain't that, it ain't no off time for what we do. Being self-employed, you're not guaranteed that 40 hours a week. So you gotta get it by all means. So, and I'm never really off.
I just want you to go ahead and say that one more time for the people who don't understand when you are self-employed, when you got to do your own thing, that you got to have family time and you can't just always cater to the public. Sometimes wifey needs you.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, I ain't finna sit up here and act like I'm no advocate because I'm not perfect. And, by all means, like it took me 8 years to get to the point of, seeing the other side of it, Like I'm the barber, so, my family's not the barber, so they don't really care that I'm Chubbs the barber. All they caring about is when I'm coming to the crib. So, it's not no days off. I mean, family time is important. My kids is getting older, so they want me there. They want to do stuff with me. So it's just kind of one of those things to where, I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in to, fix my schedule that way I can be off and be there for the family time.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Sometimes it seems like it's not enough hours in the day, in the week, or whatever, man. But you just gotta keep pushing, man.
Right. It is, bro. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It literally feel like 2017, bro. Literally feel like a blur. Only because I did so much in 2017, like it really don't feel like the year is about to be over, and it really is. So
yeah. So would you say 2017 was good for you?
Man, it was. It was good. I had a lot of, my vision opened up a whole lot to this barber stuff. My career, my professional career, just being a businessman. All the way around, it did open up. I switched shops 3 times. I've been at the same shop. I was at Mr. Crispy's for 4 years.
Shout out Mr. Crispy. What's happening?
So I mean, man, I was at that barbershop for 4 years, and then this past year I then left and opened up another shop, and left that place of business, went back to that shop, and then I've moved downtown, to the VIP Tower Suite, to where that's where I'm at now. So. It's just 2017 was a real entertaining year as far as my career.
Okay, just kind of want to backtrack a little bit. A lot of people know you as Jamel. That's how I know you as. Like Chubbs, I'm like I know 2 of them.
He hit me with the government.
I want you to tell people in depth, who is CTB? Because what was the transition from CTB, from Jamel to Chubbs to CTB?
Man, I've never been Jamel though, bro. By all means, Jamel is my legal name. That's only time I heard that was when I was in trouble. Whether it be in the principal's office or the laws, police. So I've never been called Jamel. Only way people call me Jamel is from social media. So my name is Chubbs. You know, I've been Chubbs my whole life. Mama gave me that name as a child. It kind of just stuck. And then, you know, once I started cutting her, it was just kind of like, you know, Chubbs that cut her.
Were you chunky or something?
Nah, I mean, I was overweight. I was overweight 3 months in, man. So, you know, 3 months in, my mom's had me overweight. She told the doctors told her that she needed to put me on a diet at 2 months of living. So, you know.
How was that possible?
I don't even know. Mama's from the country, man, so I guess I was eating table food. I was eating table food, like, early. So, man, she, you know, the name kind of stuck.
Somebody get that nugget out that baby's mouth.
Yeah, man. So it's just like I got pictures, you know, that I was always eating. It was always something. So, you know, man, you know, the name kind of stuck. And so, you know, man, all means people will walk up on me and, you know, they look me up and down and be like, but you're not fat. You know, like, how's your name Chubbs? You're not fat. I was like, look, man, it's the nickname that, you know, that I got. And so, you know, they went from that to, you know, Chubbs this, Chubbs that. I started cutting her, and then it slowly turned into, you know, Chubbs the barber. And it's just like, you know, I've been Chubbs for so long. And it's just like, man, you know, just marketing and branding wise, it was just like, you know, I had somebody, you know, my homegirl Mo, she was just like, you know, CTB, you know, it's like, that sounded kind of catchy, you know, and then people started, you know, slowly calling me that, like, CTB. So it was just one of those things that it turned into a better marketing name, you know. It's a better all around. So now, I mean, you know, CTB Chubbs the barber, you know, that is my brand, you know, it's my logo.
Right.
You know, so it's just like, I'm going to push that. And it's just having, you know, one of the many things under the umbrella. You know, some people might know me as Chubbs the barber. Some people might know me as CTB. So, I mean, to each is your own. You know, whatever you want to call me, you know, you can call it. It's all the same thing. So, at the end of the day, CTB is what I'm running with right now, though.
What about the Hair Jordan, man? I've been hearing the Hair Jordan, the Sauce Walker. Yeah. What about all that, man?
Man, you know, the sauce stuff is real big right now. So, you know, man, shout out to that boy Young Cuddy. He was just like, you know, it costs the drip sauce.
Shout out.
So, you know, he was just like, you know, man, you know, it costs the drip sauce. It was on some humbug stuff, like on some whole, like, it happened by mistake. You know, he said it, and then I was just like, okay, whatever. It costs the drip sauce. And it was kind of one of those things that people started saying it once we started saying it. So I was just like, people like that. So, you know what? We might have to, you know, stick with that. And it's just like, man, you know, I'm a barber. So, you know, by all means necessary, I got to get it. And so it's just like, you know, people, I've been cutting her for 8 years. And when I started cutting her, it wasn't cool to cut her.
That's what I was just about to ask you, man.
So, like, man, it wasn't cool to be a barber when I started. You know, wasn't nobody popping off about being no barber, you know, or being happy to be a barber. So it was just like, you know, when I first started, it was kind of like, you know, I cut a whole lot of people. You know, the people that I meshed well around, you know, they was all doughboys. So it was just like, you know, I'm a hair trapper, you know, hair Jordan. You know, her hustler. It's just like you take all of that stuff, all of the stuff that pertains to barbering, and you know you can translate it to trapping, and it just kind of much more or less, you know, it's easier to put it on people when you know when you can, you know, anything you can put in the same category as trapping, people are gonna kind of like take heed to it and kind of like it. So
I noticed that.
Yeah, so it's just, you know, it's just something different, man. The traditional barber wave is kind of like over with. So it's just giving the new generation something to kind of like start running with.
I was going to ask you about that, though, because, you know, in a sense, you really did make it cool to be a barber. Because, you know, growing up, you was like, man, let me cut your hair. You like, man, hell no, man. How many stripes you got under your belt, man? You ain't got no gray hair. Yeah. You ain't cutting in no old shop. I don't know about no new barber, you know. But like, what I mean to ask you is like, you basically came into the game, you put in your time, you earned your stripes, and you kind of created your own wave.
This is true.
my thing to you is like, you know, coming to the game and then, you know, making your own wave, and, you know, of course people want to, well, I don't want to say people want to like ride your wave or like,
it's not possible.
And they, you know, people want to make it cool to be barbers too, but like, I noticed there's be like a lot of like drama in the barber business, man. It's kind of like watching Love and Hip Hop, man. The barber edition, man. What's up with that, man?
In all reality, man, I'm probably like the most bluntly honest barber you're gonna come across. I don't have not that I know of. Now, by all means, if it's another barber out there that got that hate in their spirit for me, they're not voicing it to me.
Right.
So, you know, I wouldn't know. I don't personally have any beef with any barber in Tulsa because we all do the same thing.
Facts.
At the end of the day, we do the same thing. We all cut hair.
Can we all just get along?
I mean, by all means, you gotta think it, bro. Like, it's just like, I am new. I've been cutting hair for 8 years. You know, I'm young, so it's just like, and I don't do stuff the conventional way. So it's just like, you know, barbers that have been in the game that aren't where they want to be probably may not like the way I move. You know, older barbers may not like the way I move, but at the end of the day, it's just evolving. You know, like, the craft is evolving, you know, just like sports. You know, sports used to be one juke into the house. Nowadays, you know, you got some cutbacks, some jukes, some spins. So, I mean, it's just about evolving. And it's just, you know, that's the one thing with Tulsa, though. It's just like, at first, I really didn't care about, you know, other barbers evolving and, you know, kind of like seeing the light. But now it's just like, you know, if I seen the light and I notice what it can do for me, then, you know, it falls on me to kind of, you know, push the limits and see if I can get other barbers to see the light. But, I mean, at the same time, most barbers don't want to do that. And at the end of the day, it's not for me to, you know, man, I can't care, bro.
Man,
you know,
I got a question for you, man. Have you ever got any messages from like the old heads, like, who do you think you are coming in the game with all this sauce, this sauce talking?
Man, you don't really, I've never gotten any like messages on the whole like that, but it's just like you get it. It's just like, you know, the young whippersnapper that walk in the room like, oh, he think he cool, he think he tough, you know, type stuff. And it's just like, you know, for the most part, you know, it's older barbers out there that, you know, probably don't get with what I'm doing. You know, they may not understand it, they may not see the point of it. But I mean, you know, it either works or it doesn't. You know, right now it's working.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, for the most part, only thing I can do is keep forward moving on my end, you know. So, I mean, the other barbers, older barbers that don't like it, that aren't used to it, by all means, at the end of the day, all they can say is, you know, I'm not going to do it. But, I mean, if you're not going to do it, somebody else is, and I'm not in the field to turn down money.
Yeah, somebody going to get that bread.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, these days, it's just like if you don't do it, they're going to walk out the barbershop and they're going to jump on social media and they're going to find somebody that can do it. And then it's just going to be like, you lost that potential $25, $30, $40. And it's just like...
free game alert. Free game alert.
Oh, yeah, man.
Free game. Every day you're supposed to try to secure the bag, man. What you won't do for your customer, somebody else will, man. Free game alert.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. So it's just like I learned that. I learned that real. It took me some years to learn that. It's just like what you won't do, somebody else will do, and you know people will pay for that. It's just like, you know, people will pay a barber for going that extra mile. You know, we done all been there. You know, you go get your hair cut. He cut your hair, he edge you up, snatch the cape off, that's it.
Poof.
You done.
Pay me. Beat it.
So I mean, so it's just like, man, when you go through there and you know you take your time, you know, you dust the customer off, you give them a hot towel, you wash their hair, you know, you scissor off the loose ends. Like when you go through all of that, it's just like, you know, then when they go to another barber and they get the basic, it's just like, well, damn. Chubbs did this, and this. He only did this. You know what? I think I'm going to keep paying. And I think I'm going to go back to Chubbs because it's just a better overall experience. That's what it's about nowadays. It's just the experience. It don't matter where you get your haircut at. You know, I could be cutting her in a cardboard box. If I provide a great experience, it ain't gonna matter that we in a cardboard box or if we in a skyscraper in the middle of downtown. You gonna feel comfortable about where you at. So it's just about making the customer happy nowadays.
Yeah, I feel you in that. I had another question for you, man. You know, just let's take it back a little bit further. Let's take it back to the young Chubbs days. When you run around with Little Dog and Yella and Jordan.
Yeah.
What made you start cutting hair, man? Or were you just like, you know what, man? I want to cut y'all hair. Y'all don't got no choice. I'm the big brother. If I mess up, it's on y'all.
Man, man, I really didn't, like, as a kid, I didn't care about cutting hair.
Right.
You know, so, man, my pops, he had a clipper bag. He was the DIY, man. He was the do-it-yourselfer. So, you know, he cursed my hairline to this day. You know, had the whole drop in. You know? Man, it's just like he cut our hair as kids, so it was just like, you know, it kind of wore off, you know, and so, you know, he went to the pen, and, you know, once he went to the pen, he left his clipper bag, and it was just like, you know, moms wasn't paying for the haircuts, you know, grandma, you know, it was just like, you know, we was kind of like getting haircuts when we could, and so it was just like, then, you know, when we did get haircuts, it was just like, you know, you get messed up, and it's just like, it's just like, man, when you get messed up, it's just like, shoot, like, man, bro, we went to the barbershop, we just got messed up, so it's just like, why are we paying for this when I got a clipper bag at the house? And, you know, so it took, like, and already, like, my brothers used to stay away from me, man. It's crazy. Like, I used to mess Dog up. I messed Dog up, and then Yella had straight hair. He had long hair, so Yella wouldn't come nowhere near me. But Dog, I used to mess Dog up something vicious.
I can hear him right now. Come on, Kim Fold.
No. I used to mess Dog up something vicious, man. And Dog didn't want to have nothing to do with me either, man. So it really just started with the cats from the neighborhood, man. You know, 6'6", you know, Sean and Quan, you know, AJ, Keetwan, you know, everybody, when we stayed on Boston, you know, everybody would come to the house, you know, get their hair cut, and it was just like on some whole, like, man, we got Chubbs is cutting her, you know, so I would cut her. Everybody would basically cut her, you know, I cut her, or people would go get haircuts, and I'd put designs in their head, because I didn't know how to cut her. I didn't know how to do a haircut.
Right.
And so it was just like, you know what, if you get a haircut, I'll do the design. So, you know, we was doing the designs. Then it was just like, you know what, I want to taper. Like, you know, my cousin one day, he's just like, bro, why don't you cut my hair? What you want to do? I want to taper. I didn't know how to fade. So, you know, I literally cut his hair and edged him up and gave him a line in between the curve and the sideburns. Like, you know, there's the little line right there. It was just like, that's your taper. And so, you know, that went to, you know, just trying to figure out how to cut her. But, man, it still didn't start until I went to barber school. Like, man, cutting her was just a hobby. And then it was just like, man, you know, you get a job, you get laid off. I didn't care about barber school until I got laid off. Got laid off from my job, and it was just like, man, I got to, you know, do something. I got to do something with my life.
You got a family?
Got a family. Bro, I had a little girl. She was like 1. You know, I'm literally sitting in front of the barber school getting cussed out, you know. Baby mom's at the time, she cussing me out. You know, I put my head on the glass. I look out the window. It say barber school now enrolling. I'm like, look, man, I gotta go there. I gotta go to the school. And so that was kind of like what pushed me to, you know, do so.
I'm in like a camel, she get dirty and no camos. I'ma take that gamble, lay her flat just like some sandals. Flip her like a channel, then pass her off straight to Lambo. All my niggas slum, all my niggas slum. I rap her like a gift.